Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the next edition of eCRM Talks. And today I am joined by Tom Gray, who is the co-creator and CEO of Make48. And for those of you who don't know about Make48, we will soon learn more. But to introduce Tom, Make48 is a competition and community for everyday innovators. Make48 is the world's fastest invention competition that gives teams exactly 48 hours to come up with an idea and build a prototype based on a challenge. So, Tom, thanks for being here with us today. Let's start off. Tell me about Make48.
Thanks, Wayne. Thanks for having us. So you gave a good intro there, but Make48 is exactly what you said. We give teams from all different backgrounds and skill levels. Many have got no experience at prototyping or innovating at whatsoever. We give them a design criteria that is decided by a major corporation, and they've got to build a physical prototype based around that criteria. Now, the luxury that the teams have, and that what we bring to the table, is that these events are hosted at a makerspace. So a makerspace is just a building full of equipment, all the latest technologies and old school technologies. And we bring in all the experts to build on behalf of the teams. So the teams must collaborate. What we find over the years of doing this is that 100% of the population will have ideas over their lifetime based on a new idea or a concept, but have no idea whatsoever how to make it real. And the first thing you must do is make a prototype. And that then can be shown to outsiders, it can be shown to investors, manufacturers, or whatever it may be. So by the end of that 48 hours, Wayne, those teams have got a really good working prototype. They must pitch to the judges along with a sales sheet and a 1-minute pitch video to explain it. And then we pick a winner. But it's all based on a competition. And for the last 4 or 5 years, we've been a major documentary series on PBS, which helps spread the message of what we do.
Yep. And I know, Tom, we talked recently about some activity going on with the Roku channel, and I want to get to that in a little bit. But before we do that, can you share with me a little bit about your background and what inspired you to create Make48?
First and foremost, we created, myself and 3 inventors from Kansas City came up with the first concept and built the first event. My background actually has been, I'm a New Zealand native originally, but I started my career in Australia in the product world, and I licensed inventions from inventors. So from everyday people who had a patent on something, I licensed inventions in the roofing industry. I then went on to create a roofing and guttering company and did installations, and also got the chance to supply my products to Bunnings warehouse, which is the equivalent of, say, a Home Depot here in the United States. So I got to learn the whole manufacturing, supplying retailers. I did my own distribution, I did my own marketing, but I got to deal with inventors, which was the key there, and licensing their inventions. So that's how my background got involved with Make48 and the co-founders, and that's how it started.
That's great. And, there is some synergy here in that the founders and co-creators of RangeMe, which is our online product discovery platform, are from Australia as well. So certainly a beacon of innovation coming out of Australia. I love it. So Tom, so with the audience that we serve, which are buyers and sellers, can you share with me a little bit about why Make48 would be important to this audience?
Yeah, great question, Wayne. So the big key factor here is that Make48 is working with everyday people, right? And letting them have the chance to innovate a product for, say, a bigger name company, right? The problem with innovation, however, especially in America, is that you've got to have the infrastructure to take your innovation to market. Now, it's a lot easier to go online and start an Etsy store and Amazon. That's really easy. But when we talk more retailers and large quantity stuff, mass market types products, it's almost impossible in today's society to take it to market yourself.
Sure.
So here we are working with everyday people, from families to friends, colleagues, corporations, sports teams, just everyday folks. They do have the ideas, but we need now the partnerships. We now need licensors to show the innovation too. That's where we see a potential relationship with you guys, is that we want to showcase these prototypes, these really good looking prototypes, to the manufacturers. And those manufacturers can then be like, hey, we could add this to our product line. Here's some gardening products, here's some kitchen products, here's some medical products, right? So we have sort of this bigger community that's getting bigger by the sort of week or by the day. And I think our community is going to outgrow just the Make48 community. We have great relationships coming down the pipeline with some major STEM organizations and schools and colleges. Mm-hmm. So we see sort of the group of community bringing innovation to you guys. It's prototyped, it's looking good, it's almost final, but it's not quite final, into the manufacturing stage. But we now need the audience to see that innovation and hopefully have some licensing agreements and partnerships formed.
That's real exciting, Tom. So really Make48 is a ecosystem, a catalyst for makers and innovators to find a pipeline to go to market. Thus, correct, the importance of suppliers and retailers being made aware of the Make48 community.
Yeah, totally agree. And what we must do, and I know this for a fact, is that we do not want to bring you innovation that's not ready. And that is the biggest problem with outside innovation that we see, is that inventors have a half-baked prototype. It shouldn't be shown at that stage, right? It's not ready. They've done a really poor communication job of making a video, or not even a video, right? They've got no protection. They haven't even applied for a patent or patent pending or even a design patent. So we make sure that whoever goes through our program and system know the system. They've put sweat equity into it. They've invested their own capital to make a good working prototype. So they've got skin in the game. And now they are ready to show the next person, right? And that there will really increase the odds of a possible relationship starting.
So facilitating innovation, streamlining innovation, and helping creators, makers, innovators get to market faster, quicker, better.
Yeah, okay. Correct.
Tom, so I know we've talked in the past about the various touch points that Make48 has. I know you work with colleges and communities. I know there's some activity from broadcast TV. Can you share a little bit about how you, the ecosystem, the touch points of the Make48 brand, and how you're kind of being seen all over the place?
Yeah, so we started the first sort of 5 years of our sort of business life as just a one event per year, one documentary on PBS. When COVID hit, we took a step back. We couldn't do events, as you can appreciate. And we started doing city events. So we just recently finished 4 cities in 2021. We are starting an 8-city tour in this year. Okay, so we're doing one a month starting in June. And all of those cities feed the PBS series. So the winning teams just simply advance. So it's quite a fun way to get a lot more people involved. However, Wayne, there's 2 other big developments we've got that we're just launching now. We are launching our licensed events, meaning a small city or a college can do Make48 pretty much without us having to execute the competition. We have 4 small events happening this year, and then next year we have up to 32 small events.
Wow.
Meaning you're going to have events happening, not quite weekly, but big and small events happening pretty much up to 40 times next year. So you can now see competitions happening a lot more. Our PBS series is definitely our most trusted platform. We like to showcase innovation in a true storytelling feature there. And yesterday we just announced our major partnership with This Old House. So Roku purchased and acquired This Old House as an asset this year. They've just formed a Maker channel, and that Maker channel is a 24-hour linear channel that's going to play around the clock on Roku, and it's showcasing Make48 along with 13 other influencers on YouTube and Instagram.
That's amazing.
So our brand's sort of popping up everywhere because we keep it real and we're not scripted. We're getting a lot of trust from corporations, also getting a lot of trust from the colleges, because they're very particular about partnering with certain companies.
And Tom, I know the relationship with Roku and This Old House, I believe, was just announced just 2 days ago.
Yeah, yesterday.
Yesterday, right?
Yesterday,
right, on February 8th, right?
Yeah,
so interesting, Tom. And what I'm also curious to know is, in terms of the types of companies that sponsor or lean in to facilitate and support maker innovation. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, certainly. So some well-known brands you guys are familiar with. Stanley Black & Decker has been a really loyal supporter from day one. very much on the national scale with PBS. But more recently, they called the challenge of a product of outdoor lifestyle. They called that challenge in Hartford, Connecticut. We've just signed up with Harley Davidson to make a product for them. We have worked with QVC in the past a lot, with Ace Hardware. We have some big meetings coming up with another major player there. But it's very much consumer-based products. Eli Lilly called a challenge last year for medical. Coke
Great.
Industries is obviously a big conglomerate, but not so much a product company. But yet again, they have innovation in so many categories. But we're speaking to a bunch of others right now that are very well known, but they are in NDA right now, so I can't let you know
Sure.
just now. But you can sort of tell the types of sponsors. We also are just announcing the Trek relationships with Trek Bicycles. Are calling a challenge this year in Madison. So there's some good names there, but there's also a lot of mid-level players we want to work with.
That's outstanding. That's outstanding, Tom. And Tom, is there a product success that you can share coming out of the Make48 franchise platform?
Yeah, great question. So in the past sort of 4 seasons of PBS, we've basically allowed the teams to do what they want with the innovation after the fact, right? We've tried to dabble and try to find some of the right partners. Moving forward, you're going to see a lot more activity right there. And this is the reason we're talking to people like you. However, out of the competition, there has been some very unique and well-made prototypes. And they're still sitting there right now. Everything from portable carbon monoxide detectors, right? We have everything from toilet training devices for kids that are very unique. We've had barbecue accessories. Our last competition was season 4 on PBS, and a very unique storage device for a garage was created.
I need one of those.
We have all of this innovation still sitting there pretty much. I wouldn't say it's behind closed doors. It's public knowledge. It is protected.
Right.
But they're the types of innovations that we want to showcase to your manufacturers.
Tom, it sounds like a very robust product pipeline.
Yeah.
So
I think it is. And Wayne, just to, one thing we want to make sure again is that we don't want to waste the manufacturer's time. We want to make sure they're seeing quality, because most of the outside innovation and working with inventors, it's been very challenging, for corporations. I've seen it on both sides. But making sure that the inventor is also very knowledgeable about how the industry works is a key factor that we teach. Yep. So that they know what royalties should be. They're not going to get $1 million on day one. That's far from it. It's very much a process they must follow. So we want to make sure that any innovation that we show you guys and your teams is up to speed and they're well knowledged.
Right. Certainly preparing these maker innovators for the innovation journey, because it is a journey. So Tom, it is a journey. Tom, I guess in terms of final thoughts, what is your final thought about makers or maker innovation, and really for the most part, the Make48 platform? What can we see over the next 18 months, from Make48 to get our supplier community and the retail community really excited about Make48?
Yeah, I think what you'll see us a lot more active now that COVID's come and gone, and we've got these new formats rolling out. So you'll see us a lot more on everything from social media to television to more trade shows that we go to for what we do. But we want to just see ourselves and make sure that we sort of become that funnel of innovation for outsiders to connect to the manufacturers. There's a lot of companies in between right now, but they pretty much, I wouldn't say take advantage, but very much take advantage of inventors and their incomes, and have no real back end. We want to make sure we're making those collisions happen with quality innovation and everyday companies that have the pipeline to retail. So I just think you'll see us and Make48 really connecting a lot more dots. We're going to be very active and hosting events, hopefully with you guys on a virtual scale and maybe back in person when the time is right.
Sure.
But we see ourselves as strategic partners for a lot of different people, and great partnerships like yours could be one of those big key factors.
Right. Well, Tom, the inspiration for innovation is always, and obviously with the opening up, hopefully post pandemic that the rate of innovation will even scale more broadly and more efficiently as it has been in the last 2 years. And clearly, we're very excited to hear about what you guys are doing at Make48 to provide the platform, the ecosystem, and the community to drive innovation forward, because I know that is the lifeblood of our business. So,
Yes.
Tom Gray, it's a pleasure to have you here today, and good luck, and hopefully we'll be connected again soon.
Thank you, Wayne, and thanks for your time on this.
Sure.